do our politicians, our elected leaders, our representatives react to Tibet these days? Everybody conceptualises Tibet primarily as a question of human rights, and if you look at that, it really means the human rights that have already been breached of individual Tibetans, especially their civil and political rights, in the hope that someone, somewhere, will see the interests of justice at universal humanity and do something about it, which in reality is just getting harder and harder in a world where we just see example after example that might is right and gets away with whatever it seeks. So in the last few months I've had the opportunity to meet and lobby politicians from the European Union, from the British Parliament, and just recently the Australian Parliament on Tibet, and specifically in the hope of broadening the debate, injecting some fresh ideas, trying out a few new concepts, and specifically suggesting to them that Tibet itself is now changing fast. Tibet is finding its economy being transformed by mass tourism, by intensive mineral exploitation, and that these are amongst the reasons why Tibetans are in such pain, why there is such a claustrophobic sense amongst Tibetans that they are being silenced at a time when they really need to speak out. It's one of the underlying causes of the protest suicides, the self-immolations. So I took some of these issues and some specific, concrete, practical, constructive suggestions for what the politicians of the Western world can actually do, because they often turn to Tibet lobbyists and say, look, even if we sympathise with you, but what can we do? Well, what can they do? These blogs will tell you what I've been saying to the politicians and getting a hopefully receptive response. So let's see if this turns into a dialogue that, if all of us speak up, we can keep going.